So now if I push right on the right stick, it's immediately like pointing a gun or like aiming his magic hands or whatever in that direction. And now we'll make it fire something. So let's make a simple little bullet. And let's just pop it on the grid. And go like that. And we'll lower the detail on it so it's nice and fluffy. And give it some glow and some effects. Yeah, nice. That'll do. And we want to emit that. First we'll give it a chip. So we'll just stamp down chip and group those two things. And then we'll, if you tweak the microchip and then scope out, then there's a special wire applied to object, which you can tag onto the group. And now gadgets in here that do stuff to things, such as like a mover or a destroyer, they will automatically apply to the apply to object that's linked up. So we'll just leave it like that for now, and make an emitter for it. And now we link that to the object to emit, and we don't need any speed. We'll worry about this stuff later, basically. We'll leave that on, and that'll do. And now we're going to put this on one of the hands so that the direction the hands are firing in is the direction the emitter will go in. And I'll just turn down the camera speed because we're going to be working in quite close here. And let's make a chip. And that's going to be way too big. I think we don't need the grid on now. And while grabbing the object, we can L1 and X on another object that's highlighted like that, and it will be scoped into a group with that object. So now when this hand moves, then I'll just turn on X-ray mode. When this hand moves, then that gadget will move as well. So in that gadget, we'll put our emitter, and if we tweak the emitter, then we'll see kind of a ghost image of the object that's going to be emitted. So we can place that and scale it down and rotate it correctly using L2. Here I'm just using L2 and then tilting the controller, which I find to be the easiest for myself. And while the hands are up, it will be kind of in between those two hands. So let's just make sure it's kind of straight. That'll do for now, I think. Now we only want this emitter to be doing anything while I'll turn up the camera again. While this is happening, so I'll use a separate keyframe and use that keyframe to turn on the emitter. So now that's recorded the emitter being on, and now normally the emitter will be off, and while that keyframe is powered, then it will be on and firing stuff. So let's just see how that works. Cool, so it's emitting stuff. Let's just make the projectile actually move. So because it's linked to a emitter, it's actually hidden, it's powered off the original object. So if we turn off preview invisibility, now we can see that object again, and we can get into it and change it and stuff. So we want it to be moving in that direction. So let's go and get a mover, and we'll use the grid here and use L1 and triangle to snap it to the cone so that we're we're directly in that on that line. So that will just make it move. So now if we play, it's moving always to the left though, which is a problem. We want it to be moving local to whatever like squiffy angle this is at. So for that we turn on local space, and now the aiming of the mover will change depending on the rotation of the object. And we'll just set that to full, give it some more speed. Cool, and now we're shooting our object. I'd like to thank Rev Player, Kelbiones, Reddish Boat, and all of my other supporters for making this tutorial possible. Thanks for watching. If you'd like me to continue making these tutorials and helping creators across the internet, you can find out how to support me in the link in the description. Thanks for your consideration, and I'll see you in the next one.